Using two ground fault circuit interrupter breakers with a 12/3 cable to power two separate kitchen circuits is feasible under specific conditions. Firstly, the ground fault circuit interrupter breaker should be installed in separate electrical panels. Each ground fault circuit interrupter breaker must protect its own circuit independently, without any interconnection between them. Secondly, ensure the 12/3 cable is appropriately sized for the intended load. A 12/3 cable is generally suitable for 20 amp circuits, which are commonly used for kitchen appliances. Thirdly, the box fill must comply with the National Electrical Code requirements. The junction boxes where the 12/3 cable is connected must have enough space to accommodate the wires and connectors, adhering to the specifications outlined in the National Electrical Code. One of the key benefits of using two ground fault circuit interrupter breakers is increased safety. Ground fault circuit interrupter breakers offer protection against electrical shock and electrocution. By employing two ground fault circuit interrupter breakers, both circuits receive this enhanced protection. Additionally, using two ground fault circuit interrupter breakers can help avoid box fill problems. This approach reduces the necessity for additional junction boxes or splices, thereby mitigating potential box fill issues. Furthermore, utilizing a single 12/3 cable can simplify the wiring process in comparison to running separate cables for each circuit. After installation, it is crucial to use a voltmeter or another testing device to verify that both circuits are correctly wired and functioning as intended. Clear labeling of the circuits and ground fault circuit interrupter breakers is essential to prevent confusion or accidental resets. When installing ground fault circuit interrupter breakers with a shared neutral, it is important to understand how these devices function and the potential issues that can arise. A ground fault circuit interrupter breaker is designed to protect against electrical shock by monitoring the current balance between the hot and neutral conductors. If there's an imbalance, indicating that current is leaking to ground, the ground fault circuit interrupter breaker trips, interrupting the circuit and preventing potential harm. In a standard circuit, the hot and neutral wires carry the same amount of current. The hot wire brings the current to the load, and the neutral wire returns the current to the source. A ground fault circuit interrupter breaker detects any difference between the current flowing in the hot wire and the current returning in a neutral wire. If the difference exceeds a certain threshold, typically 5 milliamps, the ground fault circuit interrupter breaker trips. When sharing a neutral wire between two circuits, as with a 12/3 cable, it is essential to ensure that the current from each circuit returns on its own hot wire and that the neutral wire only carries the difference between the two circuits. If the current from one circuit flows back on the neutral wire of another circuit, it can cause the ground fault circuit interrupter breaker to trip unnecessarily. This is because the ground fault circuit interrupter breaker sees an imbalance in the current flowing through its hot and neutral wires, even though there is no actual ground fault. To avoid nuisance tripping when using a shared neutral with ground fault circuit interrupter breakers, it is crucial to ensure that each circuit has its own dedicated hot wire and that the neutral wire is properly connected to both circuits. One common mistake is to mix up the neutral wires from the two circuits, causing the current from one circuit to flow back on the neutral wire of the other circuit. This can be easily avoided by carefully labeling the wires and ensuring that they are connected to the correct terminals. Another important consideration is the load on each circuit. If one circuit has a significantly higher load than the other, the neutral wire may become overloaded, causing the ground fault circuit interrupter breaker to trip. To prevent this, it is essential to distribute the load evenly between the two circuits. In some cases, it may be necessary to use a separate neutral wire for each circuit to avoid any potential issues with nuisance tripping. This is particularly important when dealing with high current appliances or circuits that are prone to ground faults. When installing ground fault circuit interrupter breakers with a shared neutral, it is also important to ensure that the wiring is up to code. The National Electrical Code has specific requirements for ground fault circuit interrupter protection and the use of shared neutrals. Failure to comply with these requirements can result in safety hazards and code violations. To ensure compliance, it is always best to consult with a qualified electrician who is familiar with the National Electrical Code and local electrical codes. They can help you determine the best way to install ground fault circuit interrupter breakers with a shared neutral in your particular situation. In addition to proper wiring and load balancing, there are a few other factors that can contribute to nuisance tripping of ground fault circuit interrupter breakers with a shared neutral. One common cause is electromagnetic interference from nearby equipment. This interference can cause the ground fault circuit interrupter breaker to falsely detect a ground fault and trip. To mitigate this issue, it may be necessary to shield the ground fault circuit interrupter breaker or relocate it to a less noisy environment. Another potential cause of nuisance tripping is voltage fluctuations. These fluctuations can cause the current in the circuit to become unbalanced, leading to false ground fault reading. To address this issue, it may be necessary to install a voltage regulator or surge suppressor to stabilize the voltage. Finally, it is important to regularly test the ground fault circuit interrupter breakers to ensure that they are functioning properly. This can be done by pressing the test button on the ground fault circuit interrupter breaker. If the ground fault circuit interrupter breaker does not trip when the test button is pressed, it should be replaced immediately. In summary, using ground fault circuit interrupter breakers with a shared neutral can be a safe and effective way to protect against electrical shock. However, it is important to understand how these devices function and the potential issues that can arise. By following the guidelines outlined above, you can minimize the risk of nuisance tripping and ensure that your ground fault circuit interrupter breakers are functioning properly. Another thing to consider is that if the ground fault circuit interrupter breakers are installed incorrectly, they may not provide the intended level of protection. For example, if the ground fault circuit interrupter breakers are wired backwards, they may not trip when a ground fault occurs. This can create a dangerous situation, as it may not be apparent that the ground fault circuit interrupter breakers are not working properly. To ensure that the ground fault circuit interrupter breakers are installed correctly, it is always best to consult with a qualified electrician. They can help you determine the best way to install ground fault circuit interrupter breakers in your particular situation and ensure that they are functioning properly. Another important consideration is the type of ground fault circuit interrupter breaker that is used. There are two main types of ground fault circuit interrupter breakers, Class A and Class B. Class A ground fault circuit interrupter breakers are designed to trip when a ground fault of 5 mA or more is detected. Class B ground fault circuit interrupter breakers are designed to trip when a ground fault of 30 mA or more is detected. Class A ground fault circuit interrupter breakers are typically used in residential applications, while Class B ground fault circuit interrupter breakers are typically used in commercial and industrial applications. The type of ground fault circuit interrupter breaker that is used will depend on the specific application and the level of protection that is required. In general, it is best to use Class A ground fault circuit interrupter breakers in residential applications as they provide a higher level of protection. In addition to the type of ground fault circuit interrupter breaker, it is also important to consider the size of the ground fault circuit interrupter breaker. The size of the ground fault circuit interrupter breaker should be appropriate for the size of the circuit that it is protecting. If the ground fault circuit interrupter breaker is too small, it may trip unnecessarily. If the ground fault circuit interrupter breaker is too large, it may not provide adequate protection. To determine the appropriate size of ground fault circuit interrupter breaker, it is always best to consult with a qualified electrician. They can help you determine the best size of ground fault circuit interrupter breaker for your particular situation. Finally, it is important to regularly inspect the ground fault circuit interrupter breakers to ensure that they are in good working condition. This can be done by visually inspecting the ground fault circuit interrupter breakers for any signs of damage or wear. If any damage or wear is detected, the ground fault circuit interrupter breaker should be replaced immediately. In addition to visual inspection, it is also important to test the ground fault circuit interrupter breakers periodically. This can be done by pressing the test button on the ground fault circuit interrupter breakers. If the ground fault circuit interrupter breakers do not trip when the test button is pressed, they should be replaced immediately. By following these guidelines, you can ensure that your ground fault circuit interrupter breakers are functioning properly and providing the intended level of protection. It is also important to consider the age of the wiring in the home. If the wiring is old or damaged, it may be more likely to have ground faults. In this case, it may be necessary to replace the wiring before installing ground fault circuit interrupter breakers. Replacing old or damaged wiring can be a costly and time-consuming process, but it is essential for ensuring the safety of the home. If you are not sure whether the wiring needs to be replaced, it is always best to consult with a qualified electrician. They can inspect the wiring and determine whether it is safe to use with ground fault circuit interrupter breakers. Another factor to consider is the presence of any other electrical devices in the home. Some electrical devices, such as computers and televisions, can generate electromagnetic interference that can cause ground fault circuit interrupter breakers to trip unnecessarily. If you are experiencing nuisance tripping of ground fault circuit interrupter breakers, it may be necessary to relocate the electrical devices or install filters to reduce the electromagnetic interference. In some cases, it may also be necessary to replace the ground fault circuit interrupter breakers with models that are less sensitive to electromagnetic interference. It is also important to be aware of the potential for ground faults to occur in wet or damp locations. Ground faults are more likely to occur in these locations because water can conduct electricity and create a path for current to flow to ground. To protect against ground faults in wet or damp locations, it is important to install ground fault circuit interrupter breakers in all circuits that serve these areas. This includes bathrooms, kitchens, laundry rooms, and outdoor areas. In addition to ground fault circuit interrupter breakers, it is also important to use ground fault circuit interrupter protected outlets in these areas. Ground fault circuit interrupter protected outlets are designed to trip when a ground fault is detected, even if the circuit is not protected by a ground fault circuit interrupter breaker. This provides an additional layer of protection against electrical shock. When installing ground fault circuit interrupter breakers and ground fault circuit interrupter protected outlets, it is important to follow the manufacturer's instructions carefully. Failure to follow the instructions can result in improper installation and may reduce the effectiveness of the ground fault protection. It is also important to test the ground fault circuit interrupter breakers and ground fault circuit interrupter protected outlets regularly to ensure that they are functioning properly. This can be done by pressing the test button on the device. If the device does not trip when the test button is pressed, it should be replaced immediately. Ground fault circuit interrupter breakers are a critical safety device that can help to protect against electrical shock. By following the guidelines outlined above, you can ensure that your ground fault circuit interrupter breakers are functioning properly and providing the intended level of protection. Remember, safety is paramount when dealing with electricity. If you are ever unsure about how to install or maintain electrical devices, it is always best to consult with a qualified electrician. They can provide expert advice and ensure that the work is done safely and correctly. In addition to the points already discussed, it's crucial to understand the specific requirements of the National Electrical Code, or National Electrical Code, regarding ground fault circuit interrupter protection in kitchens. The National Electrical Code mandates ground fault circuit interrupter protection for all 125-volt, 15 and 20 amp receptacles that serve countertop surfaces in kitchens. This requirement is in place to minimize the risk of electrical shock in an environment where water and electrical appliances are commonly used together. When using a 12/3 cable to feed two separate kitchen circuits, each serving countertop receptacles, it's imperative that each circuit is protected by its own dedicated ground fault circuit interrupter breaker. Sharing a single ground fault circuit interrupter breaker between two circuits is not compliant with the National Electrical Code and can compromise safety. Furthermore, the National Electrical Code also requires ground fault circuit interrupter protection for receptacles within 6 feet of a sink in a kitchen. This applies to any receptacle, regardless of whether it serves a countertop surface or not. Therefore, if any of the receptacles you intend to feed with the 12/3 cable are located within 6 feet of a sink, they must also be ground fault circuit interrupter protected. Beyond the National Electrical Code requirements, it's also good practice to consider ground fault circuit interrupter protection for other kitchen circuits, such as those serving dishwashers or refrigerators. While not always mandated by the National Electrical Code, providing ground fault circuit interrupter protection for these circuits can enhance safety and prevent potential electrical hazards. When wiring the ground fault circuit interrupter breakers, it's essential to follow the manufacturer's instructions meticulously. Ground fault circuit interrupter breakers have specific terminals for line and load connections, and improper wiring can render the ground fault circuit interrupter protection ineffective or even create a dangerous situation. If you're unsure about the proper wiring procedure, it's always best to consult with a qualified electrician. Moreover, when making connections in the junction boxes in the basement, ensure that all connections are secure and properly insulated. Loose or poorly insulated connections can create a fire hazard or cause electrical malfunctions. Use appropriate wire connectors and electrical tape to ensure that all connections are tight and well protected. Finally, remember that electrical work can be hazardous if not performed correctly. If you're not comfortable working with electricity, it's always best to hire a qualified electrician to do the job. A licensed electrician has the knowledge, skills, and experience to perform electrical work safely and in compliance with all applicable codes. This ensures that your electrical system is safe and reliable, protecting you and your family from potential electrical hazards. The use of a 12/3 cable introduces some important considerations regarding neutral connections. A 12/3 cable contains a black wire, a red wire, a white neutral wire, and a bare copper ground wire. The black and red wires typically serve as the hot conductors for two separate circuits, while the white wire serves as the shared neutral for both circuits. While it is permissible to share neutral between two circuits in some cases, it's crucial to ensure that the shared neutral is properly sized to handle the combined load of both circuits. The National Electrical Code specifies the requirements for neutral conductor sizing, and it's essential to comply with these requirements to prevent overheating and potential fire hazards. In some situations, it may be necessary to run a separate neutral conductor for each circuit to ensure adequate capacity and prevent overloading. Another important consideration when using a shared neutral is the potential for harmonic currents. Harmonic currents are nonlinear currents that can be generated by certain types of electronic equipment, such as computers and LED lighting. These harmonic currents can cause the neutral conductor to overheat, even if the load is within the rated capacity of the circuit. To mitigate the risk of harmonic currents, it's essential to use appropriately sized neutral conductors and to consider using harmonic filters in circuits that serve electronic equipment. When working with ground fault circuit interrupter breakers and shared neutrals, it's also important to be aware of the potential for nuisance tripping. Nuisance tripping occurs when a ground fault circuit interrupter breaker trips even though there is no actual ground fault. This can be caused by a variety of factors, including electromagnetic interference, voltage fluctuations, and harmonic currents. To troubleshoot nuisance tripping, it's important to systematically check all the wiring connections, electrical devices, and appliances on the circuit. If the cause of the nuisance tripping cannot be identified, it may be necessary to consult with a qualified electrician. One more thing. It is vital to ensure proper grounding throughout the electrical system. The ground wire provides a path for fault current to flow back to the source, tripping the breaker and preventing electrical shock. Make sure that all ground wires are properly connected to the grounding electrode system, which typically consists of a ground rod or a metal water pipe that is buried in the ground. In addition to the point above, consider that arc fault circuit interrupter protection is also very important. Arc fault circuit interrupter breakers are designed to protect against arc faults, which are dangerous electrical conditions that can cause fires. The National Electrical Code requires arc fault circuit interrupter protection for many circuits in the home, including those that serve bedrooms, living rooms, and dining rooms. While arc fault circuit interrupter protection is not typically required for kitchen circuits, it's still a good idea to consider adding it for enhanced safety. Arc fault circuit interrupter breakers can detect arc faults before they have a chance to start a fire, providing an extra layer of protection for your home and family.